What makes a truly great NBA playoff performer? On April 20th, 1986, Michael Jordan had a playoff performance that has still yet to be topped. As on this night, Mike would score the most points anyone has ever scored in an NBA playoff game, and after watching Mike force his way into history with jumpers, layups, and dunks, after watching Mike dominate his Boston Celtics, Larry Bird, despite bringing home the win, would say the famous words, "I think he's God disguised as Michael Jordan." This was undoubtedly one of the greatest playoff performances ever, but it can't be the best game ever, right? Because basketball is about more than just scoring, and Mike's game score for this game was 47.2, an elite number, one of the best of all time, but it has been beaten though. In fact, it's been beaten 6 times. Michael Jordan himself has the 4th highest game score in NBA playoff history with 49.8, but that means we have to ask, who has broken the 50 club? And are these individual performances the measure of a true playoff superstar? Or do we have to dig deeper? I think you know we did. So what's up guys, Mike here, and today we are going to look at something the NBA is missing, some of its biggest playoff performers, and because we're talking about that, we're also going to dive into it. How do we determine who the best playoff performers of all time are? What makes a playoff star? Because remember, last year, Kevin Durant did this.
Gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining.
And yes, his foot was just too damn big. The thing is though, this wasn't even Kevin Durant's best performance of this playoff series. As when looking at a list of the top 10 playoff performances of all time, we see that Kevin Durant's Game 5 against the Milwaukee Bucks finishes 3rd with a 50.4 game score in an actual win.
Kevin Durant took over here in this second half, facilitating, getting his 10 assists, making plays, doing it all over the floor, Maul. Tough shot after tough shot.
Now, Damian Lillard, the all-time leader in this category, did not win when he played the Denver Nuggets, but he did post a record game score of 55.9, and we're just gonna let him off the hook because here's why that score was so high.
Lillard, wide open triple, got it.
To contest that shot, that's just a high-level shot from Jokic. Get it back, Dame.
Lillard.
He leaves the door open. Lillard, he is a killer. Lillard steps back, fires, bangs it in again. Lillard launches. He bangs.
They knocked down an NBA record 12 three-pointers. I mean, come on. I'll let it slide, but I also understand these are just single games. But is there something here? What about the guys that do this consistently? I mean, the NBA playoffs are all about big-time playoff performers. They're all about when the lights are shining the brightest. Who steps up and who shrinks? And we want to see those guys who step up when it matters the most. And in case you were wondering who those guys are, well, I understand. A player's game score is not the perfect way to see the full value a player has had on the court, but think about the value of a box score. During the regular season, game score totals and highest numbers don't mean much, but when you add in the value of a playoff game, when you add in that extra layer of competitiveness, that extra layer of talent, suddenly a player's game score for any playoff game is a much more meaningful number. Only 18 players in NBA history have had a game score of 30 in at least 10 games. Only 18 players. LeBron James fans, congratulations, you are at number 1. There is Mike at number 2, of course, though. And going down this list, we've got names like Shaq, Hakeem, KD, Magic, Chuck, Kawhi, Larry, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Steph, Tim Duncan, Chris Paul, James Harden, Dirk Nowitzki, Giannis, AI. But before we continue, guys, I am very excited to thank ZBiotics for sponsoring today's video. Engineered by PhD scientists, ZBiotics is a probiotic drink that breaks down the byproduct of alcohol that leads to a rough morning. So guys, all you have to do, it's really this simple, is you take this bottle right here and you drink it before you drink alcohol. Guys, it's really that simple. 1 bottle is all you need, whether you have 1 drink or multiple. Just make sure to pace yourself, have a good night's sleep, and then just like me, I was actually just in Las Vegas. You're gonna wake up feeling refreshed, trust me. I am older now. I'm usually usually not able to go out that many nights in a row, but with ZBiotics, I felt way more refreshed. I felt good, which is not normally the case, trust me. And so guys, I think this is really a no-brainer. Go get 15% off your first order of ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic by clicking the link in my description and using the code Korzemba at checkout. Also go to zbiotics.com/Korzemba to get 15% off your first order. ZBiotics is hooking it up, guys. Again, thank you ZBiotics for sponsoring, and now let's get back into the video. Out of all of these big time performances, out of all of these big time performers, we find that when looking at this list of 10, not a single active player on this list of 10, despite there being 3, is still playing in the NBA playoffs today. By the way, guys, if you are still here and you're enjoying this content, please hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you never miss a video during the NBA playoffs and you never miss a video in general. Goal here is 2 million subscribers. Let's get there. I think we can do it. And let's continue on with this video where I'm telling you, yes, Steph Curry is not on this list of top 10. I do not want to be this guy. I don't know how I became this guy in my own video, but Steph Curry has never won a finals MVP. I said it. And as for Chris Paul and James Harden, as we go down this list, well, you know, no rings as well. I'm pulling for your CP3. And then Giannis does round out this list. He's still playing, but he's only this low because he hasn't played in enough games yet, which brings up a pretty big question for me. If we combine those two factors, if we look at these 30 plus game score games, and we also look at games played, what does that list look like? How many surprising names emerge at the top? Well, don't worry, I've done that research for both historic players and current players. Luka fans, you're going to be quite happy with that one. But on the topic of surprises, does it surprise you that Kawhi Leonard is 3rd in the current NBA with 19 30 bombs, a number that ranks him 8th all time? And would it also surprise you to find out that Kawhi Leonard has actually been on a historic tear? Somehow though, in LA, it feels like no one is caring enough, as we of course all remember this great Kawhi performance.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
This shot would give Kawhi his 41st point of the night, but in terms of game score, Kawhi didn't break 25. He had a game score of 24.4, as he may have shot 16 for 39, but he got the job done. He got the win. It is these types of situations where game score is definitely not perfect. Kawhi Leonard had an iconic NBA moment here. Of course, this was an incredible game, but again, I really think there's something here. Looking back at this historical list, it takes us until number 7 to get our first non-NBA champion. In fact, our first non-NBA finals MVP. Then from there, I don't want to hate on either of the guys, but we have to go to Steph Curry for finals MVPs and for Chris Paul for just finals. They both have a chance to do it this year, but the point remains. This game score list is not only a list of champions, it's a list of alpha dogs on champions. And again, Kawhi Leonard ranks 8th all time. That already is, of course, insanely impressive. It's historic. But the thing is, what makes this even more impressive is that despite the 2014 NBA Finals MVP Kawhi had with the Spurs, his real in-the-box score incredible performances did not come until the last really 3 seasons or so. In the last 3 years, you see this number right here, 19. Well, in the last 3 years he played healthy, Kawhi had 16 out of these 19 games. In 2021, before his injury, get this, Kawhi was so ridiculous that he put up 5 30 bombs in 11 games. If you want stats to go along with that, overall Kawhi averaged 30.4 points, 7.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 2.1 steals in the playoffs while shooting 57% from the field. So right now, with that in mind, well, what do we do with that? How good of a string of performances is that? Well, 92 Michael Jordan had 3 in his first 11 games. 2009 Kobe had 1. 2012 LeBron had 1. You get the point. This was an insane run. The fact that Kawhi was injured before it was over is a travesty. We don't talk about it enough. It should be a legitimate basketball what if, because that is how good Kawhi was. He was playing at that high of a level. But the thing is, where is Kawhi Leonard ranked on top small forward lists of all time? We don't have to guess. Let's just Google instead. Quickly, top NBA small forwards of all time, 2022. We're clicking Hoops Hype, and we see that we've got to scroll a bit because Kawhi ranks all the way down there at 8th. This is a man who is one of 3 players ever to win the NBA Finals MVP on 2 different teams. Twice Finals MVP. He was the best player on the best team in the world for both of those seasons. So sure, this year, we are not watching LeBron James and Kevin Durant in the playoffs, but KD is in year 13. LeBron is in year 18. They've had their time to not only rack up these 30+ performances, but also, more importantly, they've had their time to prove to the world that they are among the best playoff performers ever. Kawhi Leonard is at the very height of his prime. But the thing is, he's been injured lately. It is he who is the one we should be talking about. He is the one we should be missing. Not LeBron and the Lakers. It was Kawhi Leonard who was ridiculous before his injury. It is Kawhi who is being forgotten, and with a player like Kawhi, well, forgetting him is the last thing you want to do, even if he doesn't talk. So there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see Kawhi get back. Please remember to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. We're on the road to 2 million subscribers. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. I mean, personally, I think the one on the left might be more your style, but the one on the right looks pretty awesome too. Click one, let me know what you think. And again, have an awesome day.